Welcome back to pregame.tv. Friday night baseball action. We're going to take a look at St. Louis and the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm your host, Marco D'Angelo, joined in studio by Chuck. Wait a minute. Well, this is a little bit embarrassing. You didn't get the memo?
Oh, I got the memo.
Chuck's supposed to be here.
Is he? Well, unless Chuck grew a nice head of hair, he's not here.
My buddy Ken Thomson, we had a little bit of fun last week. I got to admit, I had some fun on those videos with Chuck.
Yeah, I know.
Did you get to watch a couple of them?
I saw you entertain everybody. However, your horse didn't entertain anybody.
Well, he got knocked off his feet in the stretch. Hey, what are you going to do about that?
The karma will come back and bite you when you make fun of the Grinch.
All right. Draft day, we're taping on Thursday in case you haven't figured it out.
Johnny U, baby.
Going old school. No Reggie Wayne?
No, Johnny U. Your Steelers actually cut him, and then he, of course, went on to be a great Colt.
Yeah. Things still worked out okay for the Steelers over the...
Not back then, they didn't.
Not back then, but they worked out. We got Mean Joe Green and stuff, and you had to be bad to be good.
Yeah, you guys were bad. Chuck Noll, first season, 1-13. Remember that?
Yeah. I also know that in my lifetime, I've only seen 3 coaches in Pittsburgh.
And one's birthday, Bill Cowers, today, 57.
There you go. He is just a wealth of information. What about this game? We've got the St. Louis Cardinals, Pittsburgh Pirates. Obviously, last year, St. Louis every year, they're there. We know that. Pittsburgh, for the first time since 1992, were relevant again. But as I thought they were, they've taken a regression this year. One of the main regressions is on the mound tonight, or should say tomorrow night, Friday night. And early in the year, I said when we did the show with Scott on First Preview, there was an over-under out there. They had Garrett Cole and Francisco Liriano, both at 11.5 season win totals. I went over with Cole and I went under with Liriano. And right now, looking pretty good with Liriano. He's not been good.
Wow, it's sad, man. 0-3, ERA over 4, not getting it done. And, the Pirates are in trouble. Feel bad. My good pal Roberto Clemente Jr. thought they'd follow up that first winning season after 21 years of being under 500. And I thought they'd follow it up a little bit, but they lost. They didn't re-sign Burnett, who had a great year last year, and then Liriano's struggling. Like you said, they're relying on some younger arms. Yeah,
and right now they're without their star catcher, Russell Martin. And I've told you, on your show, he, to me, is one of the most underrated catchers in baseball. Did a marvelous job with this pitching staff. And it's no coincidence that since he's been out of the lineup, 7 of the last 9 games, the Pirate pitchers have given up 5 runs or more. You're not going to win ball games when you keep giving up that many runs. And the Pirate offense, they just don't have that firepower to try to trade in high-scoring games like some of the other teams. Not only did Russell Martin go on the DL, but Jason Grilli went on the DL, so you don't have your big closer. You still have Melanson in the bullpen, who closed some games last year. But Melanson, to me, just doesn't have that closer killer. It's you got to be a different breed. You got to be 3/4 nuts, in my opinion, to be a good closer.
Right.
So you got anything you like here in this game before I get into it?
St. Louis is not the same St. Louis team that we've seen the last couple of years. They didn't go out and replace a Carlos Beltran. Matt Holliday's starting to hit. They've got a couple guys. Adams has been good. Molina's been banged up, but he's solid. But other than that, they're just not the same team. I would go against St. Louis a lot more this year than I would in years past. But again, they've won 3 of their last 4. They're playing better than Pittsburgh. And look at the NL Central, the strength of the National League last year. And now you've got Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, all struggling. Milwaukee coming up from the 4 spot right now in front. And even they dropped 2 of their last 3 at home against Arizona.
Yeah, Milwaukee, obviously the surprise of the season. Well, you know what, Ken? What do you say? You want to?
Well, Marco D'Angelo, this is your play. Let's make it official, pal.
All right. Yes, the Pittsburgh Pirates, not the same team that they were last year. St. Louis, they've been struggling themselves, but they have turned it around recently. They've won 3 of their last 4 games. More importantly, they got out of their hitting slump as they've scored 4 or more in 3 of those 4 games. They were putting up 0, 1, and 2 runs too often, and you're not going to win ball games like that. Now, one concern that St. Louis, I have with them, but I'm going to ignore it in this game just because of the current form of Francisco Liriano, is St. Louis last year and this year have struggled when they face left-handers. But Liriano right now is just not the same Liriano that we've seen in the past. He had a phenomenal year last year. A lot of big factors in that last year. One, he was a guy that pitched his whole career in the American League and made the league jump. That's always an advantage, these guys that pitched in one league and when they move to the other one. It's almost like a rookie pitcher, so to speak. Yeah, there's interleague meetings, but you don't see these guys on a regular basis. And when it's a left-hander, makes it even better. Now this year, second year in the league, guys are more familiar with him. He's not having that dominating stuff that he had last year. More alarming, last two starts, he only lasted a total of 5 innings in his last 2 starts. Not good for Liriano. And you look at his ERA in night games this year, 6.35. I can't trust him at home, and St. Louis sends Michael Wacha to the mound, and Wacha's just been phenomenal for St. Louis. Got roughed up a little bit in one of his recent starts, but this guy is the real deal. I like him to bounce back. He was tough last year against the Pirates, and the way the Pirates have been struggling at the plate, I think he gets the job done on Friday night. I'm going to go against my hometown Pittsburgh Pirates, Ken. I'm going to take St. Louis with Wacha over Francisco Liriano as my free play.
Yeah, good call, because Wacha actually is 2-3, but he should be 4-1. A couple games they just didn't score for him.
Absolutely. That's it. We're going to be back next. We're going to take a look at Friday night. Ken is going to cover the ice for you. We're going to take a look at a hockey game. That's up next. Pregame.tv.